Imagine wanting to play Dredge when it originally came out, but life got so incredibly busy that you're playing it like, what, 3 to 4 weeks later? Oh my god. As we start the game, we get rolled into a cutscene where we see the motivation for our character. It is a simple one, simply stating angler wanted. As our character continues onwards, a black fog engulfs him and his boat, causing him to crash onto one of the rocks. We wake up in a strange place and are greeted by the mayor of a town called Greater Marrow. He tells us that our boat was severely damaged and puts us right to work catching some fish. Let's go. Oh, this is kind of funky though. So the question is, I'm gonna start. Oh my god! Look at the time. Look at it go. I'm gonna go out into the bay a little bit because I just want to catch fish that are further away from me, and then I can catch some fish on the way back too. All right. Oh. Should I fish until I've pretty much extincted this place? I don't think so. As we continue on our fishing journey, we are greeted with a tutorial message stating that time only advances as we move, fish, or take other specific actions. We come across a fishing spot for which we do not have the right equipment. However, we do pick up a message in a bottle. As we sail around some more, some dolphins in the background catch my eye. We soon move on, but then are greeted by another fishing spot that we do not have the equipment for. Oh. I do get different types of fish. Oh, how it suddenly turned spooky. Oh my god, exposure to fog and other things increases your panic. As we bring in the first batch of fish, we are greeted by the mayor who kindly tells us, Tom Nook style, that we are given the boat as a loan and we are to pay it off using the fish we catch. Of course, the mayor is gonna give it to me as a loan. Just tell me where to sell it. All right, let's go. I am the new fisherman. Bigger fisher means more money. Oh, okay. Can I sell all? I can. There we go. As we sell our fish to the fishmonger, we are once again greeted by the mayor who gives us a new item. What did you find? A research part. Okay. Wonder what that does. Let's go. You see, can make improvements. No business. Okay, and everything takes time. Okay, so, I mean, I can give myself another engine to make me go faster, apparently. Makes a decent effort at shining through the gloom. Okay, so I can get myself another engine, which I think makes me go faster. And then this. That's actually all that I have. Okay, return to town. We'll rest because that's what we need to do. As we rest, we begin our second day of fishing to fill up our cargo so that we can pay the debt on this boat. Luckily, the debt isn't too big. Ooh. Fucking weird ass shape. Haha. It's fresh. Why are you sad? Why does the fish look sad? What happens if I dock here? Because this is the town on the other side. What can this trader trade me for? I'll purchase any special trinkets. Can be caused to develop new equipment, but would some need investigation at a dock first? I don't have any trinkets. I can do research. Fishing speed. Okay. Plus 15 knots. Oh! Oh, okay. Improved outboard engine. Oh, holy, you can have some. You can get a jet drive engine? Nani? All right, but let me catch the last 2 fishies. Special order come through from a customer if you can fulfill it. Ooh, tell me about the order. They asked for 1 Gulf flounder and 1 gray eel. That can handle shallow waters. Shallow. So what do I have right now? I have a rod that can just do custom. Okay. And I need one for the shallow. Is what she said. Ooh, improved. Can I sell these? What does it sell for? I installed and uninstalled it, really. So I can sell this one for 50. And this is 200. That's not worth it. Definitely not worth it. We rest once again, and as day 3 begins, we are approached by a hunched woman. She asks what we are doing in this place, and we simply tell her that we're here to catch some fish. She tells us to move on from this place and makes her way back to the lighthouse. Just the person I was hoping to see. Will you be sailing out east towards the Little Marrow? Would you give this package to the dock worker there? Huh, I totally can do. It's dripping slightly. Yes. Ooh, interesting. Interesting, but kind of also weird. A delivery, nice and fresh. This will do nicely. Oh, I got money. Ooh, sustainable fishing added to the cabin. Oh, actually, can I read that? Cabin, sustainable fishing. It all works out. But now I don't have space for anything anymore. All right, let's go back home. Greater Morrow is growing. Our town is sure to be swarming with visitors any day now. In fact, I've granted a consent for the shipwright to expand our facility. The old dry dock is operational again. What can I do with the dry dock? Extra space, superior hull. Ooh, how do I get materials? Assigned towards upgrade here will be stored. Don't worry if you only have half of what we need. Oh my god. Modify 2 cargo spaces to also hold rods. Modify 4 rods to also hold nets. After unlocking the dry dock where we can repair and do upgrades for our boat, day 3 comes to a close. Ooh, I need one of you. At some point, I want to make my way around the island towards where the dark glow is. As I try to dock at this mansion, my cat comes in and knocks something over in my room. Goddamn cat. Storage, ruined mansion. The door is locked. Sweet. Workshop. And so it hasn't been used in decades. It's locked. After exploring the mansion, I had a look into the tools that this boat is equipped with, and I decided to give the spyglass a try. Oh. Oh my god, that is hard to control. That is very hard to control. What the hell? I do have the fish for that order. Oh, actually, pick up a couple of squid and a black grouper. Don't see many people fishing squids. They only feed at night, and well, you know what nights are around here. Ooh, a squid? Oh. Now I'm full. As we come in on the delivery of night 4, I deliver the 2 squid in my inventory and continue to hand in the rest of the fish for a nice bit of cash. I don't have a black grouper though, but you know, whatever. There we go, sell that. Let me just sell this and just buy this instead. So the books will probably give me like better stats, I'm hoping. Something like that. Oh. Can't hear. Oh, whole damage. No way. Where can I even keep that? I don't know if I can. After catching the very first aberration fish, I have to do some Tetris-like puzzling in my inventory due to the hull damage I received earlier. Cyclopean flounder. A sprawling jellied mass spills from a single eye socket. What appears to be a dark pupil is in fact the center of an egg. Ooh, 10% chance to not reduce fish stock when catching a fish with a rod. Sweet. What is it today? You hand the grotesque fish to the fishmonger. He grins, raising the fish before inhaling. Oh. He runs his fingers firmly along the length of the fish. It's a delicately patterned handkerchief. What? It's not the first corrupted fish I've seen in here, so I'm sure you'll find more before long. I'll pay you well if you find more. And this probably is an artifact then that I can sell? A man is looking at you through your cabin window. His face is mostly in shadow. I know he extracted. I need to inspect it, but not here. Meet me on Blackstone Isle. Head out of this bay and cut south. I'll be waiting. Okay. I'm gonna buy a cloudy lens. It only takes me an hour to install, so... You said you wanted something. It's bound in crimson with silver ribbons. I'm a collector of many things, arts and artifacts. The curious that occupy the papyri of desire. I do have something for you. The handkerchief comes from an old ship I've been searching for. It sank many years ago. It carried items of great importance. Okay, so that's the story. My proposition is this. I will offer your vessel and equipment that will let you dredge the wrecks and dark depths. Find me these lost relics and I will reward you in ways beyond all imagining. That seems kind of ominous. I'm just a simple fisherman. Why would I want to go beyond my imagination? I merely need a few hours with your vessel to make. Okay. Sure. It's so late at night. Dredge crane. The relics we're looking for are a ring necklace, a watch, and a music box and a key. I would encourage you to ask around the town about shipwrecks. Ooh, return when you have something. So I can sleep here, or I make my way back and we maybe see some things. So I'm gonna undock myself and I'm gonna make my way back because, oh my, there's the lighthouse though. I am very certain that we're not gonna see too much crazy stuff. I'm cool. Is what I mean with a cat. He thinks he's being sneaky, but I can see the little guy. As per the collector's request, we start by asking the old lady of the lighthouse some questions about the waters and the mysterious items it may hold. There's a spot near the back of Greater Marrow where the current carries in wreck from the sea. Some nights you see an unnatural glow rising from the patch of dark water. You approach a woman sitting on the dock staring at you. She turns to you. What's it like to be out there? I don't want to talk about it. As I choke and cough, this woman explains to me that she doesn't want to be in Greater Marrow anymore, and she wishes to move on. Going backwards is a mistake. Don't you think you should always keep moving? I can't go back. Say, if you find me some materials, maybe you can help me move. I really move. There's an island I've heard about, Steel Point, just to the north. 2 units of lumber and 2 units of scrap is all I need. Can make a new place for myself out there. Okay. Just stack it at Steel Point when you have anything. I'll pay you when the job is done. I'll rest for now. And I'll do it later. Start dredging. Oh. Oh, like that. Okay. Worn gold ring. Okay. Easy peasy. Lumber. Sure. We'll do it like that. Ooh, you're probably metal. Oh. Don't know why I do those things. A research part. Interesting. And a research part on scrap metal. Ooh. Big fan. Big fan. More scrap metal. Can put that there. Don't really have too much space for anything else. Yeah, I know you're a monster. Oh my god, it's fucking massive! Oh! Holy shit. God, that was not worth it. Did you just... So it can make rocks appear? Storage, that. And so we rest, moving into day 7. Put a couple of fish there. Ooh, a trophy. Oh, so if you do it on the, golden things or on the yellow things, you get a trophy. Interesting. I appreciate that. I appreciate that mechanic. There's a oh my god, what are you? Oh, you look cool. Fishmonger. Sell that, 132. Plus, I need to sell some of this gold because right now it's just taking up a lot of space. Dry dock. Yeah. Can I do anything though? Show details. Doesn't seem like I can. Search for relics, 2 lumber, 2 scrap. Oh, I can just deliver that to Steel Point. But where is Steel Point? It might be up north there? Do I just do that tomorrow? Having made the plan for day 8, we rest and move to Steel Point first thing in the morning. Or maybe Steel Point is way up north. If it's way up north, nah, I'm not doing it. No way. Yeah, material pile. All right. Put that there, and then on the way back, I think I can just give the artifacts to the guy. This does oceanic, coastal, shallow. As I have several trinkets on me, I figure a visit to the collector is in order. Yet, he tells me that such trinkets belong to someone else. What do you look like? What is that? Ah, yes, I have found something indeed. Okay. I want to sell that. I want to sell that. I want to sell that. That's demon squid, though. Oh my god. Yes, please. 34, but regulars are worth 4. Damn. God damn, give me that. Fuck yes. All right, so can I get myself the hybrid rod at some point? Because I would like that. Someone turned this engine in an unfamiliar way. Whatever they seem to have given it, more power than normal. As the day comes to a close, I tell the builder that I brought the materials and she asked to be brought instantly. I decided to rest first and leave at first light to bring her towards Steel Point. As I deliver the builder towards Steel Point, she then rewards me with 2 research modules. Ooh. Thank you. So let me do some research here then. Now it's for sale. Hell yeah. Hydraulic rod. That's also for sale. I wanna catch you. I want to catch whatever is here. And here we can see one of the attempts at Tetris in this game, which I've done quite a lot, and I am not really proficient at Tetris at all. 460? 410, god damn, that's expensive. So this is a custom rod. I can sell that. And I can sell this too, so that I can buy this. And I'm basically broke. But then I just need the hydraulic rod, and then I can do... Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've done the research. Obviously, so I have to put 2 points in this to get the engine itself. And jet drive engine, I need a lot more. Gotcha. But eventually I also have pots and nets. So, all right, let's rest. And so we enter the dawn of day 10. As the dawn of day 10 starts, I take a look at some of the different kinds of fish I caught so far. Seeing all the different types of fish that still remain, I set sail with a singular goal in mind. Make enough money so I can afford the upgrades needed to catch them all. As I fish for some cod, I notice that the wind is taking me into a very specific direction. Where is the wind taking me? The wind is taking me somewhere. What are... Oh, I can dredge here. No. Oh. The wind is taking me here? What? Add it to the cabin. Despite the wind bringing me to this bottle, I do not stop and read it. I don't know why. But I continue down the path and fill my cargo with some metal scrap I obtained from dredging. To fully fill up my cargo, I catch one more cod, one more plank, and then make my way back to Greater Marrow. As I dock, I pay a visit to the dry dock and start handing in the first materials for the lights and the engine upgrades. And then, do I want more engines or more rods? I don't think I want more engines. I quickly sell all my fish to the fishmonger and then brave the night to do a little bit more fishing. Loading up my entire cargo with squid, the time has passed to be nearly 4 in the morning. As I dock in Greater Marrow once again, I am greeted by the mayor that I look a little bit tired and that getting ample rest is the key to survive in the open waters. In the end, I don't go far and fill up my cargo with mostly eel. I sell everything and decide to add the hydraulic rod to my cargo, which allows me to now catch oceanic fish. Having equipped my new rod, I'd venture outwards towards the waters to catch my first oceanic fish. It is a bronze whaler, and I am amazed by the look and the size that it takes up in my cargo. Oh my god. I venture a little bit more south and find a fishing spot that has a weird glow to it. Later, I would connect the dots and see that the glow indicates the chance of an aberration fish. As the night begins to set, I reel in some more paper and find a pile of loose debris that can be cleared with strong explosive. This discovery was so shocking that I crashed the boat, causing it to have some damage and me losing some cargo. As I move along the coast, I come across a stone that hums quietly and gives me the option to place my hand on this stone. Ooh, place my hand on the stone? The cold stone does not respond to my touch. I quickly make my way back to Greater Marrow as I am followed by strange and dark whispers, driving me ever more insane. Due to my insanity and the time of night, more and more rocks just start appearing, and I have to do some quick swerving in order to not take more damage and lose more cargo. I sell my fish, repair the boat, store some materials, and then I let it roll into day 13. After a bit of fishing and collecting materials on day 13, I come across a ominous looking altar. A slab of rock. At its base, a rough shape has been chiseled away. Oh my god, you need to fill this with... This altar is asking me to fill it with caught fish. Since this altar seems very intriguing, I make it my sole task to complete it as fast as possible. Seemingly having ADHD, I first make my way to Greater Marrow instead of filling up my inventory with cod, because I just sell what I have and then get my first upgrade on the boat. Remembering that I have a collect mission from the fishmonger, I decide that instead of filling up my inventory with more cod, I want to catch this black grouper. So once again, I abandon my quest to do the cods, but after some storage gymnastics, I have to discard one cod as well, and I return the fish to the fishmonger to complete that quest. After giving the fishmonger the fish for the quest, I get some passive items in return that allow me to catch fish, or in this case crab, passively, and that is I get a crab pod. This also allows me the opportunity to buy the crab pods from the fishmonger. Basic crab pod can be deployed. Oh, okay. Okay, give me that. Deploy a crab. Just drop it at sea anywhere, then come back after a day or two. I've got a customer after fiddle crab and common crab. Oh, what the? I decide to rest, and once the dawn of day 14 hits, I release the crab pods, eagerly awaiting what they can do and catch. A full day later, I finally achieve my goal of catching the cod needed for the altar. I fill up my cargo and make my way towards it. Filling up the altar, all the cods are washed away, and it reveals a cursed-looking hook that allows me to catch coastal and oceanic fish. A hand line reel wrapped in a length of stretchy sinew. One end is crafted to the... Okay, so this allows me to get coastal and shallow. It has a fishing speed of 6%. That's not really good. After filling up my cargo with some eel and squid, I return to Greater Marrow to sell the items and have a closer look at the cursed object that I got. See, I don't know what is good about this thing. There doesn't seem to be anything good about it. Maybe I just don't know. After a bit more thinking, I decide to buy another light to boost my lumens during the night as I let it roll into day 15. I decide that I have spent enough time just hanging around Greater Marrow and look at my map to set my sights on the other islands surrounding this safe haven. Look at the map. So Steel Point is up there. Great Marrow, Blackstone Isle. It is pretty far to get to those points. I decide to venture southeast and come across a hooded figure who is swathed in dark blue ropes. He asks for my help and wants to receive a very specific fish, which I happen to have in my cargo. He eats the fish with his bare hands and asks for more. I will later come to learn that these are timed missions and that I need to give him the fish in a certain time before these missions become unavailable. More, still empty. They point, this one looks like a tiger mackerel. I have no idea where I can even find a tiger mackerel. At Greater Marrow, I spend some time deciding what I want to use my research points for. Loving the idea of making more passive income, I choose to go for the hardy crab pond, and I also look what I could potentially research in the future. So this one does 2 to 3 for 3 days. This one does 2 a day for 5. And this lasts for 3 and does 4, but has... It's a 5x4 and not a 4x4. Why would I just not go with this one? It seems the way better choice. Volcanic and shallow, and this one just turns into a fucking amalgamation. Day 16 is spent looking at the crab pods, filling the cargo with more fish, and making my way down west as I come across a broken ship that has several valuable trinkets near it. With day 17, I pretty much do the same as day 16. I look at the crab pods, fill up my cargo, but this time I make my way towards Steel Point. The builder who I dropped off has no new items or dialogue for me, but after a bit of fishing in this area, the engineer's companion. Oh, it's a book! I decided to have my rest somewhere else instead of Greater Marrow for the first time since playing this game. Going into day 18, I find another shipwreck near Steel Point with a great amount of materials and valuables inside. Yes, please research for me, plus another trinket like that. Thank you, Wind. I empty my cargo at both Little and Greater Marrow and put a research point towards the twin prop engine. I fill up my cargo once again since I still have time and decide I want to give the net a try. I install the nets and then let it roll into day 19. Oh, that is interesting. I can just catch fish like... Oh, automation! Do I need to go past these in order to catch them? Doesn't seem like it, but I can make my way to some places. With both the net and the crab pot, I feel I can focus more on exploring instead of catching fish and affording all the upgrades. As I explore and fill up my cargo, I come across a key-shaped fishing spot, which gives me an ornate key, which immediately tells me that I need to give this to the collector. What is the... Okay, I need to bring this back to the collector. Okay. I make my way to the collector and he gives me a new dark power and tells me to venture away from Greater Marrow and towards the next relic that is located in an area called Gale Cliffs. After I rest, I let it roll into day 20. I make plans to venture toward Gale Cliffs, but decide to empty the crab pots and make sure my cargo is empty first before heading towards this new part of the map. When approaching Greater Marrow, the old lighthouse keeper approaches me and tells me that my engine sounds just like an old friend of hers before returning to the lighthouse. I wrap up everything by selling my cargo, completing another quest for the fishmonger, storing more materials in the dry dock, and making certain I am prepared to head towards Gale Cliffs. As day 20 rolls around, I look at the different books that I have read so far and look at the pursuit board. I repair my net and sail towards Gale Cliffs after throwing out the recently repaired crab pots. Not sure if I will make it to Gale Cliffs before dark, I use the new hasten power and wonder if panic will actually do anything to me when it's the middle of the day. I wonder if anything just shows up like this. What's over here? You pull up the wreck of a familiar. It's almost identical to the ship given to you by the mayor, except this one has a huge... Oh, look in the cabin. I explore every nook and cranny of the ship and I come across some general loot like scrap and an engine. And it seems... Is that Gale? Yeah, that's Gale Cliffs. Ah, I didn't make it. Interesting. Blackmouth salmon. Ooh, getting nighttime. What is that? That will damage me, right? Why do I even try? Why do I even try? After a new type of a fishing minigame, I arrive in Gale Cliffs. An Ingfell resident tells me about the aged conger eel and how I might get one of those. She then gives me the quest to bring her one of these eels, and I ask her how to catch one so I can more successfully complete this quest. The resident then tells me about a merchant that has set up shop not far from here. As I go closer into Gale Cliffs, I notice a strange glow, which I cannot access due to a bundle of rocks that can be destroyed with explosives. As I dock close to the red glow, I am greeted by a hermit who tells me that Gale Cliffs doesn't get many visitors these days. I continue to ask questions that will help me with my own goals, and I learn that a family crest has been taken by a monster that lurks these waters. Do you know how I can clear... My brother at Ingfell used to make explosives. That's what we need. I curiously ask about the creature and its lair, and with all this new information, I let it roll into day 21. During day 21, I move towards the traveling merchant, but not before I catch some trinkets and fish along the way. I notice that the merchant has a quest for me, and she's asking me to catch some extremely rare fish for her. I continue to make my way towards Ingfell and ask the retired whaler on potentially getting some explosives from him. He seems reluctant to get back into business, but I figure that if I can reconcile him and his brother, that maybe he's more likely to get back into the whaling or at least the explosive business. I explore deeper into the narrow passages and cave systems of Gale Cliffs, and besides gathering some materials and new fish, I do not spot anything out of the ordinary. I continue exploring even through the night, but while entering the safe haven of Gale Cliffs, I notice that my lights turn off. No, I'm safe here. No, oh my, no, stop it. My God, I thought I was safe here. But after turning the lights back on, I rest at Ingfell and let it roll into day 22. I move to the merchant, sell all my fish, repair all the equipment, and put some material in storage, and head out to collect one piece of wood to complete the last upgrade in this first tier. God, this is the lair, isn't it? The monster. Oh my fucking God. No. Oh shit. I use the hasten power to quickly get out of the way, but after a small chase, it seems that my boat has become naturally faster than this monster. After this encounter, I follow the coastline towards the ruins of Gale Cliffs, and I take my rest for the night. As day 23 starts, I am immediately ambushed by the giant monster and take some serious hull damage. Luckily, some items are still intact, and I can finally complete the last upgrade in the first tier. After completing it, I put in some materials for the new hull upgrade, repair my boat, sell some fish, and make my way back to the lair of the monster. Seeing as the monster only did 2 parts of damage, I try and brute force this encounter by just tanking the hit from the monster as I fish up the family artifact. Having retrieved the family crest, I make my way back through the canals of Gale Cliffs and let the night settle. At the start of day 24, I repair the damage I took from the monster and make my way to deliver the crest to the old mayor of Ingfell. At least I assume that's what he was. He wants me to bring the family crest to his brother, which I am more than happy to do. After a little bit of interaction with the brother, he allows for the hermit or his brother to stay on the mainland, but also wants me to set off some explosives in order to make for a shortcut. As I go towards the shortcut, the monster appears out of nowhere. I decide to tank the hit once more and set off the explosives, revealing a shortcut to the monster's lair. I catch some more materials, find another stone, and head my way back to Ingfell and talk to the whaler about my recent successes. He then tells me I can go and grab his brother, but before I do so, I let it roll into day 25. I go to the merchant, repair my boat, deposit some of the materials, and then go on my way to pick up the hermit brother. I pick up the brother and fully expect the monster to appear out of nowhere and turn this into a little chase/monster scene. But sadly, he does not appear. With the brothers reunited, I now have access to explosives that I can use to remove the rocks that appear to block several places in this world. I make my way to the wreckage of Ingfell and get the second item that the collector is looking for: a rusted music box. Having another explosive at the ready, I remove another barrier and find a piece of refined metal, which I so happen to need for a future hull upgrade. I make my way back and make an inventory of all the items or all the materials that I still need in order to upgrade the hull. I decide to brave the waters and head back to Greater Marrow to deliver the music box to the collector. After some exploring, I notice that the stone near the collector is giving off a ominous red glow. The stone trembles before you. Unknown symbols glow from within. A sudden chill rushes through the marrow of your bones, surging up your arm, your neck. A deep vision enters your mind. Dark ronk. The newborn starts to crackle with unknown energy. The earth shifts once more and the stone lies still. Is that because I'm insane right now that I'm able to interact with the rocks? Or maybe I can only interact with the rocks at night. Maybe that is why. Well into the morning of day 26, I give the music box to the collector, and he gives me yet another dark power. This power allows me to teleport to the Blackstone Isles from anywhere on the map. Instead of sleeping, I head out to Little Marrow and sell my trinkets, and just decide to stay awake for a while. Heading to Greater Marrow, the lighthouse keeper awaits for me, and she tells me that maybe my quest isn't the wisest. I then move on to the fishmonger and give him a mutated fish. I don't really know what he wants with it, but he gives me 2 research parts in return. Talking around Greater Marrow, everybody seems concerned for my health, but I just focus on repairing the boat and unlocking the new twin prop engine. As I do not have the money to buy the engine, I decided to stay awake for just a little while longer and catch some more fish. As I try and empty and repair the crampods, I notice that the fishmonger is very much occupied with the mutated fish. After heading out for some more and trying to just fill up my cargo with fish, a murderous swarm of birds just appears out of nowhere and starts stealing my cargo. Knowing that I need the cargo in order to get the money so I can buy the twin prop engine, I decide to just sleep and let it roll into day 27. Remembering that there is a pile of rocks behind Greater Marrow, I make my way back to Gale Cliffs to acquire some more explosives. Making a stop at the merchant first, she happily tells me that she now is able to sell explosives as well. Looking around, I also see she has new spotlights, and I choose to upgrade that so I can see more in the dark. Acquiring the explosives, I make my way back to Greater Marrow to get rid of the pile of rocks. Behind this pile of rocks is another piece of refined metal. I make my way back to Greater Marrow and see that the fishmonger is available again today. He probably wanted to consume the fish in order to just be like them, to be mutated, to have these dark mutated powers. But I am happy it didn't work out, as I can still sell my fish to this guy. On day 29, I spent the first half of the day emptying and repairing the crab pods that I wanted to do on day 28. As I leave the safe haven of Greater Marrow on the second half of day 29, I am visited by my cat, who makes a small appearance. I deviate some more into Gale Cliffs, catch some more mutated fish, sell them to the merchant, and decide to call it a day on day 30. At the start of day 30, I look at my pursuit board some more and then set off to try and look for the blue robed figure. I set out, catch some fish, and roam around the nearby islands in order to find him. After some more roaming that leads into the darkness, eyes start appearing all around me. As I keep going, I find another stone that will respond to my touch now that I'm crazy enough. A deep vision enters your mind, a heart of stone wrapped in a twisting tail. A serpentine body, teeth rasping at its earthen shell. Larger now, bursting through the cliff, sending rocks tumbling into the water. An eye opens. Oh, it's talking about the monsters. I try and make my way back to the safe haven of Ingfell, but I sadly meet my demise at the hands of some rocks. Your ship is dashed to pieces. It just came out of nowhere, that rock. Getting to redo day 30, I instead try and focus on the quest for the aged conger eel. After some trouble with the monster, I managed to catch one, but upon arriving at Ingfell, the resident tells me that the eel is not aged enough. So I decide to try and wait until the sunset and see if that does the trick. Sadly, it still isn't aged enough when the morning arrives, so I just catch some fish and decide to stay in the bay of Gale Cliffs and make some easy money. As the night falls on day 31, I give her the aged conger eel and take a good night's rest. Day 32 is spent just roaming the islands between Greater Marrow and Gale Cliffs. As I arrive at Greater Marrow with some treasure, I also have the items needed to give me the first complete hull upgrade for my boat. At the start of day 33, I take some time to install the new twin engine, as I now have more space for equipment as well. I move to Little Marrow to sell the rest of the trinkets and spend some time managing and restoring the crampods that I have set in the Bay of Greater Marrow. On the night of day 33, I am just getting some more materials, and all of a sudden my Agato key light turns off. It's very strange. It has never happened to me during recordings, so I just take some time to try and reconnect it. On day 34, I store all the new materials that I have found since, and I want to focus on upgrading my boat as quickly as possible. I set out to gather more materials and roam around Steel Point some more as well. Here I find a small boat that luckily isn't destroyed yet. The person on board tells me that he was on his way to deliver a package to Little Marrow, but that a leviathan is lurking the waters and that he doesn't want to leave the safe haven of this small island. He passes the package on to me as I continue to loot everything around this boat and then make my way back to deliver this package. I first decide to stop at Greater Marrow and let it roll into day 35. I then deliver the package, sell my loot to the trader, and store some more materials towards a new upgrade that gives me 4 more cargo spaces. I decided it was time for a more adventure and I head my way to Stellar Basin. I take my time sailing around, looting the area, but come nighttime, I am amazed and terrified what is happening around me. I look for a town, but instead I find an old fortress that is home to a scientist. She tells me about the accident and about this horrible creature that has destroyed everything. She also tells me that she is looking for a certain fish specimen, and I happen to have one in my cargo. I give it to her and then let it roll into day 36. I spend day 36 roaming around Stellar Basin and looting several trinkets and materials. I stumble across the old research outpost and find a research part and a weird prototype that I cannot do anything with at the moment. I gather some more materials and choose to teleport back to the Blackstone Isle as I store more of the materials and carefully select what I want to put my research parts towards on day 37. On day 37, I stick a bit more around Greater Marrow before heading back to Stellar Basin. Becoming more comfortable with the dark, I don't mind the nighttime adventure this time around. During the night of day 37, I find the remaining fish that the researcher needs. Going towards her and giving her these fish, she notes that she now needs the prototype part, but she suggests that I do that during the day. Heeding her advice, I go to sleep and just go towards the old research station on day 38. On my way to the old research station, I look into the deep middle part of Stellar Basin to see the monster. After retrieving the prototype parts, she gives me a new type of hook that allows me to catch fish from the deepest parts of this game. After receiving a device that should clear the monster's presence for a bit, the researcher gives me a new mission to catch some of these abyssal fish. After receiving the quest, I sail around the middle part of Stellar Basin and decide to also activate the repulsion device. With the repulsion device active, I can sail around more freely and loot some of the newly spawned fish and dredge spots. I catch some more fish and make my way back to Greater Marrow. I sell my stuff, repair the boat, and put research into a new rod and let it roll into day 40. On day 40, I do a bit more maintenance to the crab ponds and set sail towards Stellar Basin once again. I'm just minding my business when a giant tentacle starts attacking me out of nowhere. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh shit, oh shit, oh my, oh, can I turn it on? Oh my god, oh. I rush back to the research center to activate the repulsion device once again to give me some peace as I loot the area some more. I catch some more fish for the researcher and also collect the relic that was at the center of Stellar Basin for the collector. While the creature is not being a menace, I collect some more loot and head my way back to the researcher and give her some of the fish for the quest that she gave me. I just need one more fish to complete her quest and set out the next day to find it. Having thought that I completed everything in Stellar Basin for now, I head my way back to the collector, which gives me perhaps the most useful power in the game after handing him the next trinkets. I head to Greater Marrow to sell my fish, repair the boat, talk to the lighthouse lady, and go to sleep once more, having completed yet another part of this game. Starting on day 43, I start by collecting some materials for the next boat upgrades, but this is interrupted by my cat, who blesses me with his presence. I get attacked in the middle of the night and am forced to discard a piece of wood. I rest, and on day 44, I put the materials towards the 2 upgrades that I have remaining, and I also managed to fill in quite a number of materials for the second hull upgrade, only being short 2 planks and 1 piece of refined metal. On the remainder of day 44, I catch enough fish to fill my cargo as I'm looking to gather more money to obtain some of the items that I can put on my boat. I obtain some more explosives, sail around Gale Cliff some more, and eventually head my way to Twisted Strands. I look at some of the available upgrades, invest a research point, and on day 46 I head into Twisted Strands to explore this area. Little did I know that a telepathic brain tentacle would try to hurt me as soon as I entered this new area. I explore around as I feel I'm going crazy. The tree seems to be moving and the path seems to be changing in this weird new mysterious place. As I go more insane, tree branches sprout from the water and start attacking me as I see more of the trees blocking my way. I find another dark stone telling me about a parasite and the origin of this place. Parasite burrows into a snake-like carcass. Tendrils sprout from and senses the water around. Host corpse shudders reluctantly. With a cry that resounds through the forest, it rises once more. I sail around some more as more branches block my path. Seeing a path out of this maze, I return to the merchant. I sleep, repair the damages, and head back in during daytime. I head inside and decide to clear some of the debris that is in my way. Clearing this debris allows me to find some of the refined metal that I need in order to get the next hull upgrade. As I sail around some more, I notice the wreckage of an old fighter plane, and while I loot this fighter plane, I also get a dog tag which seems to be of some importance to someone. As the night settles, I spot a fake ship in the distance and respond to its horn call. I notice that it imitates my own horn sound, which I think is a pretty neat touch to this game. That's kind of cool. Kind of makes me want to go see what the fuck that is about. I make my way back to the merchant and put in the remaining materials for the new hull upgrade. But sadly, I don't have the cash available to buy this upgrade just yet. I go to sleep, and on day 48, I head towards a new area in Twisted Strands. Here, I meet a large man. He tells me he is an airman that has been stranded here for some time, and then tells me about the mind flayers that are roaming these parts. He tells me about his brothers in arms and that they have also crashed in various places of Twisted Strands and would like me to retrieve their dog tags if possible so he can honor them. He also wants me to get rid of the mind flayers and has me search for various parts in order for him to take care of these hideous creatures once and for all. I make my way to one of the airplanes and get a mortar frame. I then continue to sail around Twisted Strands some more looking for the remaining dog tags, but after sailing around for an entire day, I come up empty. During day 49, I bring the mortar to the airman and he tells me that the next stage in his plan is to lure the mind flayers into various contraptions that he has built around Twisted Strands. He will need me to catch various fish so he can make 3 special baits to lure the creatures to these contraptions. I have a few fish on hand, but I will have to go back into Twisted Strands to catch the majority of these. As I continue exploring Twisted Strands for these fish, I find more dog tanks, some materials, and also an altar and an abandoned camp. This camp is lined with unfamiliar symbols, and those symbols can also be found in the corners of a pentagram. It seems like the camp of a madman, and after exploring a bit, I continue along my way. I continue exploring as it turns into the night of day 50, and I am soon cornered by an evil tornado that seems to follow me everywhere I go, and a cramp that is disguised as a ship. In the midst of all the danger, I seem to dredge a research point and more materials before making my way back to the merchant. Having a research point available, I decide I want to improve my passive fishing capabilities and invest in the large trawl net after much consideration. On day 51, I return to the airman and give him another dog tank, which also gives me enough research points to unlock that net and improve my fishing power. Sadly, I cannot install this new trawler net just yet because I missed the appropriate spaces in my cargo in order to install it, which gives me the urge to get the new hull upgrade as soon as possible. I spend the next 2 in-game days just fishing and gathering money in order to make this a reality. After upgrading the hull and allowing for more net space, I spend another 5 in-game days just fishing and looking for materials in order to continue upgrading my boats. On day 58, I find another abandoned campsite, and while I look around, it features similar markings to the previous abandoned site with a pentagram and unfamiliar markings all around. I continue fishing and gathering materials a bit more, and on day 60, I find another altar in the regions of Gale Cliffs. This altar seems to be asking for cramps to be put into it, but seeing as I don't have any cramps on me, I put my focus somewhere else and I continue along my way. After a few more days of sailing, I arrive at Devil's Spine on day 62. After meeting the blind monster of this region, I gather some more materials and make my way to a nearby altar. This is where I meet a crazed fanatic who tells me I need to deliver 3 flames to him. And not far from this altar, I meet yet another hooded figure, but this time in red robes. Sadly, I do not have the fish that he wants from me, and I continue along my way. On day 64, I meet a castaway near Steel Point, and he wants to be brought to Little Marrow. I happily oblige, and he gives me a very valuable signet ring. On this day, I also get the funds and the research point to get the versatile rod, which allows me to fish in 3 different types of waters, which I think is amazing. After some time installing the new equipment, I make my way back to Twisted Strands as I make the first of the 3 special baits. I make my way to the first trap and use the bait, and soon see the contraption taking hold on one of the mind flayers as it is being hit by a mortar shell not soon afterwards. I take a chunk of flesh with me as proof of the kill and continue to fish for the remaining parts of the bait. I continue to do so for the 2 remaining mind flayers. I trap them with the bait, and soon after a mortar hits, killing both of them. I return with the chunks of flesh to the airman, and he gives me a necklace that seemingly is the necklace that the collector is after. He also gives me fresh bait that will help me attract local fish. I use some of the fish I have in my storage to give to the airman and then fill up my inventory with a bit more bait. I also decide to spend a little bit more time in Twisted Strands before I make my way back to the collector. He then gives me a spell, which in hindsight I never used. It is a spell that practically kills all the fish around you, which I didn't really care much about. After this, he tells me that Devil's Spine is the last area that I need to head to. After having given the amulet to the collector, instead of making my way to Devil's Spine, I cruise around the other regions instead. I want to collect more upgrades before heading into the final area, so I collect some more refined metal in order to finish the final hull upgrade. But I have to collect $1,500 in cash in order to afford this upgrade first. I spend more time collecting fish, tending to the cramp pods, and making sure I can get this final hull upgrade. On day 72, I finally have enough money to get the final hull upgrade and immediately move more materials to the remaining upgrades I have. I have the materials in storage to get 2 more upgrades, but after the huge purchase of the last hull upgrade, I need to go out and make some money once again. On day 73, I set out and collect some fish, plus the cramps from the cramp pods to get myself a new light. I also choose to install an older light into the weird 2-engine slots at the top and look through more of the pursuit boards. During the travels, I spotted a gulper eel, and this happened to be one of the fish that the merchant has asked for. I make my way over to her spot in Gale Cliffs, and she rewards me with 2 research points. While I'm at Gale Cliffs, I take care of the crab pots that I tossed out there, which allows me to have enough cash to purchase the 2 upgrades that I put the materials towards earlier. As Gale Cliffs has little to offer me, I make my way towards Twisted Strands. On the way, I'm spooked by an evil crab that is pretending to be a crashed boat. I continue along the way during the night of day 75, and I find a campsite that is being used. It so happens to be the old mayor of Greater Marrow. He tells me about the horrors that await me if I keep collecting and using the book. He continues that the lighthouse keeper has more information for me and that I should seek her out. I decided to continue and explore Twisted Strands so I can finish up the 2 remaining upgrades for my boats. I continue exploring, fishing, and dredging as I notice several blocked paths. I get some more explosives and end up finding the Goliath tigerfish that the merchant has been asking for. After knowing the location, I get 2 more research points and I'm free to sell this gigantic fish. How much does this sell for actually? Oh, $230. Yeah, damn, I'll take it. I spent some time looking into what I should use the points on, but after that, I decided to make my way to the final area of this game. As I explored Devil's Spine on the earlier morning of day 79, I notice a cave that is built along an ancient lighthouse. As I explore the ancient lighthouse, it seems that the stone door requires some sort of large socket before it can open. Seeing as I don't have this socket, I decide to rest for the night. As I continue on day 79, I notice that the first altar is asking for 2 gigantic crabs to be placed there. As such, I decide to purchase a massive crab pod in order to find the requirements for this altar. I continue dredging, fishing, and looting well into day 80 as I find another altar that is asking for 2 specific kinds of fish. As I continue along the way, the crab pot I tossed out earlier has 1 of the crabs that I need for the first altar. I sell my stuff and make my way back to the altar to get some more clues as to what I need to do. The cultist then shows me the item and tells me that I can have it if I complete the ritual for him. Instead of doing this, I go to several other locations and find more materials and fish before heading back to Greater Marrow. Here, the trader is interested in the stone slab that I got from the ancient lighthouse and tells me that there are several pieces that would fit in this slab, as he knows and shows me one of the pieces he obtained years ago. I stick around Greater Marrow some more as I tend to the different crab pots that are in the bay, and on day 82 I spend some time talking to the lighthouse keeper, and she tells me that the book has to be returned to the waters and that it is time to move on from this endeavor. I spend several more in-game days just fishing and exploring the different places of Stellar Basin and around the Greater Marrow. On day 84, I return to the Devil's Spine to complete the first altar that is asking for 2 crabs. As I give the crabs to the altar, it rewards me with several trinkets, but sadly I turn a bit too much and cause some damage to my boat. The blue flame luckily is still safe and I return it to the altar. On day 85, I find an aberration altar as well as the fish I need for the second altar. Again, this altar rewards me with several trinkets and the second blue flame, which I then proceed to bring to the altar. As I only have 1 flame left, I decide to explore some more around the area, and on day 86 I am met with a giant fin that just crosses out of the water and jump scares the hell out of me. Whoa, I thought it was gonna leave me alone. I reload the last save and spend several more days exploring and finding the fish required for the final altar. Finally, finding the fish I need, I obtain the final flame and also an artifact that is called the Encrusted Talisman. I spend some more time exploring and find more of the stone slabs, which I then return to the trader, and he takes some time restoring this to an ancient tablet. After receiving the ancient tablet, I hurry my way back to the ancient lighthouse and see what happens once this new door unlocks for me. I step inside, and inside of the ancient lighthouse there are several trinkets as well as a light for my boat that is called Flame of the Sky. I then make my way to the altar and give the final flame for the ritual. A violent ritual takes place and it leaves the cultist engulfed in flames as I can finally retrieve the final artifact. I do exactly so and make my way back to Greater Marrow. After making sure that my inventory is empty and that my boat is in top condition, I make my way to the collector and bring him his final artifact. As I continue talking to the collector, I get a message that we're entering the final stage of the game, and I should make certain I have finished everything that I wanted to do. I am committed to finishing this game, and I bring the collector to the big glowing beam that is in the water, signaling the end of this game. A ritual takes place, a woman gets out of the water, and what only seemed to be Cthulhu rises from the water. Oh, who's that? Is that the wife? Is that a... I don't like the remaining sounds here. Oh, no. Oh, those are eyes, right? Holy sh... Oh. Dredge 2 needs to be announced. My God, what a game. And as far as I know, there's multiple endings as well. Oh, the town is not looking so hot.